Eating is a trivial thing all humans need to survive, and we take any means by far to crave this sensation. Some of us simply enjoy a quick meal that'll help us run through the day. Some of us like to take it a bit farther by enjoying special delicacies. Shout out to the bat soup that started COVID and And some of us like to eat, much more. My point being that food and water is the one thing that brings humans together. By simply breaking bread with your enemies, you can start to understand them a bit more. Like, I don't know what it is, but when you automatically sit down and eat with someone, conversations can just flow. I think that's the same reason why whenever politicians get together, they're always at dinners or something, so they can start to understand each other better. So it's very important to the conversation that you're giving your body the nutrition it needs to function. Healthily function at that. Now, just by saying the word health, I already know half of you motherfuckers clicked off this video. Don't worry, I'm not gonna give you the half-ass lesson your health teacher gives you about feeding your body correctly. I could care less. In fact, I want you to fail. I'm a hater at heart. But I've been looming on this idea of ingredients and ingredient labels recently. Ever since I was a kid, I never really sat down and read the ingredients on an ingredient label. I mean, them just making me have to read is too much. Voice function like Siri or something. And as a kid, you really don't pay attention to what you eat. You kind of just eat it. This is the stage right after being a baby. And as a baby, you put whatever the you see in your mouth on sight. Toys, crayons, dirty napkins, pretty much anything. I was slobbering down school lunches like it was no tomorrow. And for my 1% of viewers outside of America, this is an accurate portrayal of American school lunch. I'm not joking. So
not in my school, bro. That shit just looks sad, bro. I can't get full after that.
Understandable to me when people grow up and still don't really get into the habit of doing it. Like they say, you keep about 90% of your major habits as a kid to being an adult. And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, it took me a while to break this habit. I mean, you could put any ingredients in an ingredient label, and 3 years ago, I probably wouldn't care. Tree bark, toenail shavings, donkey semen, dandruff flakes, chopped up BBL leftovers, it didn't really matter to me. As long as it tasted good, you can bet my body was damn near going to consume it in full. But after what I've been learning recently online, I kind of just been side-eyeing a little bit things more. Like, this one question just popped up in my head randomly one day and I couldn't get it out to this day. And that question is, why the f is all of our food so bright? I mean, really think of it for a second. Every pre-packaged food we damn near buy shines bright in our faces like getting flashbanged in first person on COD. If you're in America and your food isn't gleaming off the package, is it really food? You see, foods end up like this a lot of times because they throw in hella random ingredients into foods and abracadabra. Now we have whatever the f this monstrosity is. Captain Crunch's Ocean Blue artificially maple flavored syrup. And there's real people that consume this. So yeah, I've been seeing all types of memes about this online and especially on TikTok. The main one they like to joke about and make fun of is something called Red 40, which is like the pinnacle of all these mysterious ass ingredients. You can catch this bad boy in basically any type of thing you eat. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, it don't really matter. They even put this in medicine, like you can't even heal yourself without ingesting this And in the TikToks people have been making of this meme, they've been showing different miscellaneous ass discoveries of foods in their grocery stores that are kind of insane. Like the one I showed you earlier, for example, the Captain Crunch. I cannot fathom that anyone can look at this and rub their hands with their mouth drooling all over it, just waiting to consume it. I swear to God, if you put this in a clear container with a label that said laundry detergent, no one would bat an eye. We all know that syrup itself is already just god-awful for you, like it's just pure sugar. But I can never imagine what this does to you. And this video is another example. This guy on TikTok found things like this in a store. Confetti glitter fruity cereal fruit spread, star glitter blue raspberry flavored fruit spread.
Why the fuck? I'll never get this. Okay, so even in cakes you see people putting like sparkling glitter. Why the fuck do people do that? That does not look appetizing to me, bro. Like,
and star glitter cotton candy flavored fruit spread. There is no way any human is meant to consume any of these things. It looks like if I take a bite of these, I'll end up having a seizure with rainbow sprinkles foaming out of my mouth. And one of the main ingredients of this, of course, is Red 40. So there is a reason why so many people don't like this ingredient specifically. I would just avoid any ingredient that's involved in this concoction of things, but Red 40 is the main one. You see, Red 40 isn't a typical ingredient that everyone in the world universally uses. It's a controversial ingredient that's banned in a lot of countries like the UK, Switzerland, Norway, Austria, and other places. It's basically restricted all over Europe. Yet guess where it's allowed to run rampant and free for everyone to consume? The USA. Freedom, baby. People don't like it because the ingredient itself has been linked to so many ailments and diseases that if it was a real person, it would get 10 life sentences. It's been shown to be linked with things like ADHD symptoms like hyperactivity and can cause neurobehavioral effects in children. I don't know what that word means, but the ADHD part got me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how it is outside of the US of A, but every kid I damn near knew in school always had a focus problem, and they still do now. Even before the virus tic-tac started ruining every kid's attention span imaginable, kids could barely focus before that. After 5 minutes into listening what a teacher's talking about 99% of kids' brains kind of just shut down. We don't give a f. That number only gets worse depending on the type of subject. A 5-minute attention span will be for the cool subjects like gym class or art. 3 minutes will be for the intriguing topics but semi-boring like geography or music. And 1 minute, oh, that's for the most boring dog ones out there like math or history or science. And really think of it, what does every kid like to gargle down on like it's no tomorrow? Candy and chips. The #1 products that use these ingredients. So I full on believe the reason why I always failed in class as a kid was because of Red 40. It had to have f***ed up with my brainwaves in some type of way, right? And it's not just one ingredient, like there's a slew of mysterious ass ingredients just like it. Blue #1, blue #2, green #3,
What?
orange bees.
What is that? What is that? Orange bee? Is that like vitamin? Nah, what the fuck? Why is there colors as ingredients?
They're just red #2, red #3, yellow #5, yellow #6. All these damn colors. Are we making the pride flag? I'm confused. Why are colors called ingredients now? What is happening?
Mr.
Oh my fucking god.
Welcome.
It's also been reported that these ingredients can give people symptoms like upset stomachs, migraines, jitterness, nervousness, and inability to concentrate. And I hate to go back to the topic of school, but I knew every single type of kid that had one of these things in school. There was always that kid who threw up and had to leave early. Always a kid with a headache for some reason. Always a kid who could never sit in one place. Always a kid who was lonely and nervous. And always someone who would never focus in class. Which these things end up following people to when they're older. We can all name someone with at least one of these ailments. I feel like the main one they said though that's universally shared is the inability to concentrate. I already made a video on attention span, so I'm not talking about it too much. But yeah, pretty much no one can concentrate now. It takes some people all their willpower just to put down their phone and concentrate for 5 minutes in class. And although all those old heads and Gen Xers and whatever like to complain about us, they do the same thing. It's literally like no one can concentrate anymore. And really think of it, when was Red 40 introduced as an ingredient? In the 70s. AKA the year when the Gen Xers were starting to take over. So my conspiracy theories, it started with them and led to us. But what puts me off more than any of these mysterious ass ingredients will always be something like energy drinks. You see, I try my best not to have any canned energy drinks at all.
Same, bro. The only energy drink that I really take is pre-workouts or Celsius, bro. I don't like taking anything else, bro. And coffee, of course, but you know, coffee is coffee. It's not really I guess it's an energy drink, but you know. But Monster, Red Bull, I feel like that shit, like all that shit would kill me instantly.
Because I just seriously can't trust them. These are the types of drinks where they pretty much tell you, yeah, by the way, bro, if you consume us, you look, you have a chance of dying. I'm serious, there are dead-ass energy drinks with full-on warning signs now. Warning signs are for construction sites, not my body. So when I have to consume one of these in desperate need, I don't even try to look at the ingredient side because I know I'm gonna be disappointed. I'd rather not know the toxic chemicals I'm ingesting. I'll just drink it and wish for the best. I mean, caffeine itself is already controversial and people say don't drink it and yada yada, but it's too late for that. Energy drinks is the peak of caffeine though, with the most pumped up testosterone filled chemicals the world has to offer. Like, have you ever read the back of an energy drink's ingredients? You can't even pronounce out the they put on it. Pyridioxine hydrochloride, panaxquinifolia, cyanocobalamin, calcium is that a dash in the ingredient name? There is no reason my damn drink should have periodic table chemicals in it. And the cheaper it is, the worse it is for you always. Like, you cannot win. Low key, when I see a drinking Red Bull, which is the go-to for a lot of broken I imagine in my mind how long till they eventually suffer from a stroke. That's not even mean, it's bound to happen. Come on, guys. I could personally never trust someone who drinks Red Bulls on the daily. It's probably better to take something like cocaine daily than Red Bull daily at this point. Have you seen what this did to Ninja? He went from happy-minded, always enthusiastic jolly ninja to Breaking Bad level meth addict. And then there's something like Bang Energy. The only thing I really have to say about something like Bang Energy is that does anyone actually drink this? I feel like this is that one energy drink where we can universally agree we just won't touch it as a human race. I know we were talking about how everything was bright earlier on packages, but Bang Energy, Bang Energy is just a different level of brightness. They got a can for every type of neon color you could think of. Drink one of these and I guarantee you'll magically teleport to a rave with flashing lights and people with glow sticks all over their body. But you know, the worst out of all of these, meaning this entire category of energy drinks, the Satan spawn for all energy drinks has gotta be Monster Energy. If I see you drinking this in modern times, I know you're in some kind of up predicament. It's like seeing someone on the street smoking a cigarette. You just kind of gotta look at them and be like,
bruh, I remember I drank Monster. The last time I drank Monster was like months ago, like in August type shit or October, and it was because I go out of work to go to college to sometimes do videos like this. That's why it takes so long for me to do a video, man, because by the end of the day it's already like 12 when I get home. But bruh, I had somebody buy me Monster because they saw that I was sleeping in the classroom, bro. Because I really just couldn't. I had no energy, like zero. And they were like, yo, here you go. Because I know you gotta drive an hour home. And, you know, I'm worried about you. So, you know, I just hope the best for you. So, once I drank it all and we were about to leave, that person was like, text me whenever you get home and shit. So, yeah.
You're drinking that? Let me just put a coin in your cup, you poor soul. The only thing that you can even pronounce on this ingredient label is carbonated water and sugar. The first ingredients. I also remember a while ago that a rumor started saying Monster Energy was linked straight up to the devil. Now, although these claims were never proven true, I ain't taking a risk. I mean, does this logo not look like a pitchfork? And everyone who drinks these casually look like they sacrifice babies in satanic blood rituals. Now, another certain brand I like to mention comes in a different type of form. I like to call it the real life form of diabetes.
Bruh, but like when I oh my gosh, bro, when I was drinking Monster, because after that I started drinking Monster like every time that I went to school. I used to have a collection of cans of different flavors and shit. I'll be honest, the coffee one is so fucking ass.
Little Debbie. Now, my viewers outside of the United States might be confused who this little is. Well, all you really need to know is she's the leader of every child with diabetes in America. This woman has single-handedly put more children in the hospital than the Joker has in his entire lifetime. I remember growing up, I used to love things like the honey buns from this brand, or the Swiss rolls, and especially the Cosmic Brownies, who definitely that. Every time I went to the grocery store as a kid, I would beg tooth and nail to take one of these home. The bright packaging colors and swirly designs always got my minuscule little kid brain. Seriously, I don't know what it was, but this stuff was really like crack to me back then. And I think it was for a lot of kids too. I could chomp down on a box of honey buns in a day with no problem. Drink 2 large glasses of milk with Swiss rolls. It was like heaven. However, it's very weird because once you grow up, you kind of become repulsed by these types of foods. I don't know, because I've been talking to my friends and they tell me they don't like these anymore. Strangers online have been saying like, how do we even eat this as kids? Is that just a me thing? Let me know, guys. Like, there's no way I could be chomping down on a box of honey buns or Cosmic Brownies nowadays. I take a bite of it and I can't even gulp it down the windpipes. And is there even a point in me showing the ingredients in this thing? They write the whole Declaration of Independence on the back of these boxes. I ain't reading all that, but just know it has the typical things you can think of. The red 40s, the soybean oils, the unpronounceable ingredients, you get the point. And it's not just Little Debbie. We can take Hostess, for example. It's funny to me because Hostess has made the single most American food. Like, when people look at America, they look at this. The Twinkie. I think the Twinkie is how people outside of America just leave it alone.
Bro, I used to love the fuck out of Twinkies, bro. Every time that I went to my camp, my summer camps, oh my gosh, I used to have the box in my lunch bag. I used to have the box because I used to like eating all the.
They just see us shooting guns in the air while eating Twinkies to nutritionize us and drinking it all down with a milkshake full of butter. And all these brands always use the same thing. The unpronounceable ingredients, the red 40s, oils, all that. Luckily, I don't really consume any of these types of snacks, let alone Little Debbie. But let's just say I've been doing some research for this video. And my god, Little Debbie would come #1 in the race of the most unhealthiest up things to ever consume. Just look at some of these snacks Little Debbie has produced. Little Debbie birthday cakes, Little Debbie St. Patrick's Day cream rolls, Little Debbie strawberry cupcakes, Little Debbie s'more cake rolls, and probably the most scariest one of them all, Little Debbie unicorn cakes. No food should be emitting these two colors in the way they do, in the way this does. And it's even more shameful knowing they try to use the appeal of a cutesy little girl for their brand, looking down at the children of America dying right in front of her eyes. Okay, I think that's enough ranting from me. I'm sounding like a health teacher now at this point. And I already know what some of you who think you're smart all of a sudden have been thinking this whole video. Tommy! I mean, these things are heavily tested for years, like Red 40 and oil, so they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. There's nothing really to worry about. And to that I say, do you really think I give a You know how much doctors and scientists have changed their mind on in the past? Take something like cigarettes, for example. They were advertising these so much that even doctors were saying they're okay to smoke. And this went on for a solid like 30 years. Who knows what god-awful new study could come from these ingredients in the future that are literally named after colors. Probably not good ones, I think. But hey, I'm not saying to never consume any of these things, except maybe the Little Debbie unicorn cakes. There's no way you're eating these and let me pass for it. They're probably not too bad having every once in a while. Like, I'm not expecting you to go full Liver King mode and just eating liver every day. But yeah, the way some of y'all in modern times just down all these things with these Red 40s and seed oils, downing a box of Twinkies a day, a full family-sized bag of hot Cheetos. All I really gotta say is, might as well put down a life insurance policy now. It's for the best. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
That was a great video.